What up, Clipper Nation? It is Clippers Talk. I'm Adam Osland. Chat, Adam's family, let me know if you're in here. Let me know if I got this thing hooked up right and you can hear me loud and clearly. Man, I'm plugged into the sound card this time. We had a couple issues to start this post-game show last night. After the Clippers' big 37-point win over the Utah Jazz. Yes, the Clippers got back to their winning ways, but now they head out on the road for three. 3 dozen says first. Ryan Garcia says hi. Robert said let's go. Elijah said good evening. Bonesaw said double A got that dog in him. Okay, people are starting to get in here. Robert said we good. Sound is up. Can you guys hear this? Ryan Seaman and Ralph Law are laughing at me. Joe Villas said, yes, sounds good. Elijah said, always happy to see you. Could it be because tonight we got a bobblehead? A Kawhi Leonard? Claw on the wall bobblehead? Not elf on the shelf. Claw on the wall. We'll give it away, but I'm probably not going to do it in one show here. You know how I do things. I drag it out. I turn it into a contest. Or you got to get multiple keywords. But there's something else you have to do tonight because it is timely. It has to be done now. And I'm talking about my guy, Carlo Jimenez. The great Carlo Jimenez. You may have noticed he put out, what's his most recent TikTok-y thingy here? Oh, him getting shots up and into a dome. I think I took this video. Oh, my guy Carlo here.
It's 50 feet from the backboard. One side of the free throw line. The other two measurements are that the top of the key is 21 feet from the rim, and the
Hey,
half dash circle is just 10 feet from the rim. With these three measurements, you can make a pretty good guess about how far a player shoots on the floor. Great.
so this is his most recent post. I'm looking at this on the Instagram side. Of course, he's on TikTok as well. How shall we do this? I think hit him up on Instagram because he's got plenty of follows on TikTok. I want you guys to go to Carlo Jimenez's Instagram, which can be found. I can't even read Instagram. Is that how old I'm getting? It can be found on Instagram. I don't know the exact. It's Carlo.Jimenez with 2 Z's. All right? That's where it is. That's the title. It's right there. Find this. If you want to win the bobblehead, first, to just be in the running for the bobblehead, the Kawhi Leonard bobblehead, you got to say happy birthday under his most recent post on Instagram. It's Carlo Jimenez's birthday, and we're going to show him some love here on Clippers Talk. So, if you want the bobblehead, that is step one. That will at least put you in the running. But after that, you know we're going to some keywords here. Retro says, yo, a little bit tired, trying to wake up. I apologize. Was just watching the in-season tournament Emirates Cup final as Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Milwaukee Bucks would go on to win. And it kind of made me think of a topic for tonight to discuss here on Clippers Talk. Chat, if you can still hear me, get in the chat because I have had some issues here with the overlay and not being able to see new comments in here. Good evening. Because the other night, new comments stopped coming in, and then I checked the video afterwards, and they were. I just wasn't seeing them on the Restream app, which is giving us some problems at times. Going back to Clips and Dip. Absent said, happy NBA Cup Day. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks. They would pull through the final. Let me give it to you. I think they won by 20. Basically, one team was hitting their threes, one was not. Milwaukee would win 97-81 over the Oklahoma City Thunder in Las Vegas in a game that counts in terms of a monetary gain, but these stats will be thrown out. They don't matter. They don't factor into guys' regular season numbers. So even though the Oklahoma City Thunder were just 5 of 32 from the outside, that will be erased from history. The Milwaukee Bucks went 17 of 40 from distance. Damian Lillard was hitting some really tough shots. A step back three in the first half, that was a thing of beauty. He went 5 of 10 from the outside. But the team I care more about is the one in the Western Conference, so the Clippers will be competing against, and that would be the OKC Thunder, who put up just 81 points. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander really struggled. 8 of 24, 2 of 9 from 3, 21 points. Was a minus 17 out there with the starters. At OKC, and they're not an elite three-point shooting team, but tonight, 5 of 32. That is 15.6% from 3. That is quite the downgrade on their shooting from distance. So, first of all, I need y'all to show love to Carlo Jimenez. Get into the comments section on his latest video on the Instagram and tell him happy birthday from the Adams family. That is step one if you want to win the Kawhi Leonard Christmas-themed bobblehead. And I'll give it out, let's see, by Friday. So I will at least have it sent out at the post office on Saturday so it can arrive on Christmas, which is Christmas next Wednesday. I can't keep track of these things. Yes, next Wednesday is the 25th. So you'll likely be able to get it by then, depending on where you live. If you're too far away, like international, I'm not shipping there. It's just so expensive, man. I shipped some of those Intuit rocks overseas and they never even made it there. You got to be in the United States for this one. I'm sorry. Ryan Garcia says, yes, I can hear you. I think I was asking about that like 10 minutes ago here. So the Oklahoma City Thunder are at the top of the Western Conference. They look good. They've looked damn near great at times. They have had to weather a storm of injuries. They didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein to start the season. And Chet Holmgren has been out as of late and is going to be out for, I think his reevaluation is like in 8 weeks from now with that strange, what was it, a hip injury? Scary injury for a guy who already missed a year in the NBA, his rookie season, after that foot injury. But they're supposed to be the gold standard in the West. They were the number 1 seed last season. The Oklahoma City current Thunder are currently 20-5. They're at the top of the West once again. They're leading the pack. They're 3 games up on the number 2 seed in the Memphis Grizzlies right now. And they just lost by almost 20 points in the cup game to the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not putting everything in to the in-season tournament. I'm not going to do that. OKC's great. The question is, are they vulnerable? Are there flaws with some of the top teams in the Western Conference that the Clippers can exploit if they get the claw on the wall back? That's the question here, right? So I've been saying before the season started, I truly believed the OKC Thunder were going to win 60 games. Now, that's obviously dependent on injuries, and they have had some. They're still just about on pace to win 60, I believe. They're not far off. 20-5, would go 40-10. And that would put them at 50 games. Yeah, I mean, they could. It's attainable. They're that good. They're that deep. They have proven that. But they're also that young still. Alex Caruso has championship experience in the bubble. Who else on the OKC Thunder has been battle tested in that way? They lost in the second round last season to the Dallas Mavericks, even though OKC was the number 1 seed. Dallas was the 5 spot, as they took down the Clippers, who were in the 4 spot. Injuries, they can really derail your season. We know that all too well. I just don't see a team, and I don't see, a top of the conference in the West that looks unbeatable. There are teams that are really good in the Western Conference, but I think the top of the East, at the very top, is better. I think that's true. Top to bottom, I'm going with the West, but the very top of the East is tougher. There are more teams that can stop you from getting to the NBA Finals at the top of the East than the West. I think that's fair to say right now. I think it's obvious. I think we kind of knew that going into the season, and it has played out that way so far. So, can the Clippers take advantage of a weaker group of the upper echelon teams in the West? Teams that do have flaws, like the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're not a great three-point shooting team. And tonight, they kind of got exposed in that area. The Milwaukee Bucks have been playing better. Remember, their season, the way things started, it looked like they weren't going to be able to dig out of this hole. And people were talking about a coaching change. And now they've stabilized a little bit. Even without Chris Middleton tonight. Wasn't able to go, I think, because of illness. But people are calling for Doc Rivers' head. They were saying all the jokes with him and Darvin Ham being on this squad. And they've turned things around. They outshot the OKC Thunder. Giannis Antetokounmpo looked like the best player in the game tonight with the way he was playing on both ends, and has, as of late. At least you got to put him in that discussion for MVP. He's been phenomenal there. But OKC, one of their flaws is they're not a great three-point shooting team. On the season, they're just about bottom 10 at 35.1% from the outside. They take 40 per game, but they aren't great from distance. How much of that is due to the fact that they're missing Chet Holmgren, another floor spacer out there? Well, you can say it's not nothing, because last season they led the league in three-point shooting at 39%. They were only taking, though, 34 per game then. They've gotten them up. They're trying to meet the Boston Celtics and beat them at their own game. Everybody is chasing the Celtics. They're looking at the way they do things. They are the trailblazer, and not the Trailblazers. Certainly not. They are the best team in the league. They are the champs, and they do things differently than everybody else. They've increased their three-point attempts from last season at 42.5 per game to this season being at 51. How can you compete with that? When they're on, you can't. They will destroy you with hot three-point shooting. The Clippers found this out in their first game against them in Boston this season. But OKC is smart to get up more shots. They have guys who are capable. I'm wondering if they're taking as many of the right threes this season, or if they're just circling a number and saying, this is how many we need to get up per night. And it's not necessarily happening organically within the flow of the offense. For lesser teams, sometimes you just have to take a lot of threes to compete, to have a chance, to hope you have a hot shooting night. For teams like OKC, they don't have to. Obviously, they don't need them right now. They're still this dominant without them. But you run into a team like the Milwaukee Bucks that is this good, and they're on, and you're not, and you see the worth of those shots and the value and what happens when you're missing. Now, they were missing at such an extreme rate tonight. I don't want to put too much into it. They aren't shooting 15% from three on the season. They're shooting 35%. Tonight, outlier, aberration. I don't know if they had nerves because what, $500,000 on the line to the winner in tonight's cup final? I don't know if I should draw any long-reaching conclusions out of the fact that they lost this game, and that means they're not battle-tested enough and don't have the championship medal to compete in a 7-game series against some of the other best teams in the Western Conference, and that inexperience will rear its ugly head at the wrong time for the OKC Thunder, and that's what will keep them from getting over the top. I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying I think the West is pretty wide open, and that's a good thing if you're a Clipper fan. There isn't a Boston Celtics unbeatable-looking team, juggernaut up there. There's a very good team. There's maybe a great team, but I don't know about an unbeatable team. I don't know about a team that you just have to hope is going to miss that night, which is what it feels like with the Boston Celtics. I think you can create your own luck or bad luck shooting-wise for the opposition against a team like OKC. They just aren't as lights out. They're great. But SGA, who I did predict to be the MVP before the season started, he also had a bad night. The last playoff game against Dallas, he had a bad moment. I think he fouled a guy on a 3. It was kind of a low IQ mistake for somebody as smart as SGA. He was still good in the series overall. He still looks like a number 1 option on a championship team. We're very well versed in his game, but he hasn't been there, done that yet. Are there still growing pains in the variety that we saw from the Boston Celtics with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, where they would get to an Eastern Conference Finals, they got to the finals against the Golden State Warriors, and they came up short? Do they still have flaws because of inexperience? Are they still beatable? I think so. I'm not just going off tonight. I've been saying this throughout the year. If the Clippers have Kawhi, even against a team like OKC, they still might have the best player in that 7-game series. And therefore, you got a real shot. I don't fear anyone in the West right now. Are we talking a major hypothetical here? If Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy? Yeah, we are. But it's a better position than a lot of other teams are in. That just, regardless if they have everybody healthy, they're at too much of a talent disadvantage to say they can compete with OKC. I truly believe the Clippers can if they are healthy. That's the difference. And tonight gave me further evidence of that. Jeremy Gonzalez said, does Adam have aura? It's not the last dragon here, but Goofy said, question. But, Will, do you think the Clippers will have a trade even in the first place? Can you reformulate that for a second? Especially with their success and struggles mainly being from recent injuries. Question, but Will, do you think the Clippers will have a trade even in the first place? Do they need to make a trade in the first place? What exactly are you asking, my guy? Absent said, trading Giddey was the right move, but OKC misses his ball handling and shot creation. SGA has to create too much. I think they need another shooter, too. They're only 19th in three-point shooting. That's what I just brought up. But you got to understand, they're missing Chet. He has gravity. He changes the way they play. He makes them able to play 5 out like Boston or like the Knicks now with Cat. He gives them that option. So it's not a fair assessment right now on OKC because they can make the same argument. Hey, if we're fully healthy with Chet Holmgren, we're blowing the doors off the rest of the Western Conference. Maybe they're still too young. Maybe they need more seasoning. I don't know. Goofy said, I think, responded to what I was saying. He said, fair, the best of the East overall are overall top tier, but the rest are really mediocre, while the West is a range of good to great. Completely agree with you, Goofy. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Remember, you want the bobblehead? First thing you got to do is wish Carlo Jimenez happy birthday from the Adams family on his Instagram, on his latest post, which has him with some selective editing on a shot he takes here. You see, he starts to take the shot and then just goes right away from it. Did it go in or out?
15 feet from the rim. This actually isn't right. It's 15 feet from the backboard. Once under the free throw line, the other two measurements are that the top of the key is 21 feet from the rim and the half dash circle is just 10 feet from the rim. With these three measurements, you can make a pretty good guess about how far a player shoots on the floor. Great question. How do I know how
Man, he's snappy with it, though. I can't even hate. I'm not trying to hate. I want you guys to go there, and I see a couple people already have. There we go. But you didn't say happy birthday from the Adams family. Let them know where you came from. This is a Clippers talk mandate tonight. Adams family, I'm sicking you on Carlo Jimenez in a positive way. I just want you to wish him a happy birthday. And therefore, you'll get in the running for this Kawhi Leonard bobblehead. Brand spanking new. As it is still in box. I barely touched it. I can put some Purell and wipe it off before I put it in the box to send it to you even. Shadow said, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and hit the notification bell. Now I've said it. Boonit said, you giving away a bobblehead? Please me. That's not the rule. It's not about who begs the most for it. Sinner JR said Doc Rivers is a degenerate. Oh, come on, man. Chill. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. The mush. The guy who, if he says something, if he makes a bet, you fade him. You go the opposite way. If he says the Clippers are winning, that probably means you should go the opposite direction. This is bad. This is really bad. So Bastian Schweinsteiger has made multiple guarantees. First, that Boston was overrated and the Clippers were going to destroy them. What did they lose by? 32? What was it? It was awful, is what it was. Then Bastian Schweinsteiger guaranteed they were going to beat Minnesota at home. How'd that game go? And now he's doing it again. You guys remember A Bronx Tale? There's this scene with Eddie, Mush.
Come on, Kryptonite, baby. Look at it. Forget it. It's over. Take it out. It's all over. Dan, let's go. That's it, Kryptonite. Come on, Kryptonite. You can win this one. Kryptonite. Hang in there. Come on, number one. Let's go. Yeah, he bet the fucking horse. He bet Kryptonite. Give me the tickets. But Sonny, we're winning. You can't win. Mush bet Kryptonite. Fucking jerks. Come on, you're the boss.
Can't win.
He mush bet Kryptonite. Give me the tickets. But Sonny, we're winning. You can't win. Mush bet Kryptonite. Fucking jerks. Come on, you're the boss. Number one. Find loose and come on. We've been mushed.
They got mushed.
Come on, one fucking bit of cute. Come on, one. You can still do it. Come on, one. Come on, Kryptonite. Come on, Kryptonite. You can still do it. Come on, Kryptonite. It's all you, baby. Come on, take it home.
Kryptonite's not winning.
Hang in there. Hang in there. No. Shit. Fucking close. Fucking believe it.
See, I got a tip in the next race for you.
Oh, fuck yourself.
Oh, they're very emotional.
That's who Bastian Schweinsteiger is. The mush. And I am concerned. I am very concerned now. He says third time is the charm. He talked down to anybody who questioned him the first time. Then he was wrong the second time in horrific fashion. We're not just talking about Clippers losses. We're talking about their 2 worst losses of the season. My God. And now, once again, he's doing the same thing. We are beating the Mavs on Thursday, guaranteed. And when it happens, I need the credit to be as loud as the slander. Oh, I really thought, the Clippers are going to win this game. And now I hear this from Bastian Schweinsteiger. Not feeling so hot now, guys. Sinner JR said, oh, God, chill, Sinner. All right, Sinner's in timeout. 8th deadly sin, just continuing to insult someone here in the chat over and over again. It's one thing not to like Doc Rivers. It's another to say just negative, derogatory comments over and over again in the chat. That is a clear-cut timeout. Amin said the Bucks defense was insane. Yeah, they look pretty damn good tonight. OKC also missed some good looks. Alfie said seeding don't matter this season in the West. I hope not, but I heard the same thing last season from people. When I kept telling them, guys, there's one team in the modern NBA that has won a championship that was not a top 3 seed. I kept telling everybody that, the Houston Rockets. Well, guess what? Chalk won again last season. Sure, a 5 seed got there in the Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals, but they didn't win. It was the Boston Celtics. So it continues to only be the 95 Houston Rockets. They were a 6 seed, and they also had just won the season before. So it's a little bit different. History says you need to be a top 3 seed. But records are made to be broken. History is made to be rewritten. I think there is a time coming soon where someone will rise up, even from the in-season tournament maybe, and go on to win the entire thing. I think that could happen. I think the talent gap, because of analytics and just how talented the team is the league is throughout the NBA right now, I think it's going to happen where a non-top 3 seed is going to win sometime in the next few years. And that'll be the first time since 95. Oh, no. Bastian Schweinsteiger now said this. OKC is cooked. Clippers will dissect them in a series. Oh, my God. The mush. The mush can't stop himself. Why does he want to jinx this team? Should I give him a timeout? Why is he doing this? Like, don't jinx the Clippers like this. Bastian, you're always wrong. This is a timeout. It's one thing to say it about Thursday. Now he's already putting a playoff hex against the Clippers if they take on OKC. Amin said when you have Kawhi, you always have a chance. Sinner is just sinner, sin. This great Bernie Mac once said. Miss Shake said, I'm disappointed in the bobblehead giveaway. They didn't even acknowledge him or it at the game unless I missed it. I thought they did. Maybe I missed it. Goofy said, sorry, bad typing. Meant if there is rumored trade talks in the first place. But now I don't know what the other part of the question was. You got to reformulate the entire, reconstruct, reverse engineer that original statement you were making. I'm sorry, Goofy. I can't scroll all the way up. There's too many messages now. Just put it out cleanly. Make it cogent. Bunit said, do you think Kawhi comes back during the road trip? If not, when? Well, I think we might find out tomorrow if Kawhi's flying with the team. That would be pretty big news, would it not be? If he's flying with the team, he has a chance to play on the road trip. Amin said, I feel like we have what it takes to win a chip. Correct me if I'm wrong. You mean if they got Kawhi? Well, they have what it takes, but they don't have the player it takes yet. And we don't know if that player can stay healthy. So I can't exactly say they got what it takes. On paper, I think they have enough to get there out of the West. I don't know if they can beat Boston. And I've been consistent in that for a while. Again, if you want a chance at the Kawhi Leonard bobblehead, first, you have to let Carlo know that you wish him a happy birthday. Just click on his latest video where he's taking a jump shot and then quickly goes away from it. So, I mean, does that mean he made it? Would he edit away from that view if he made that shot? I don't know. But let him know happy birthday from the Adams family in there. That is step one if you want to get in and be in the running for this bobblehead. Judah said, I don't fear anyone out west, but Lord help me if we end up matching up against the Rockets. Probably the most frustrating series we could get if we can't match their hustle. I don't know, guys. Rockets don't have a guy averaging 20 points per game. They're a good team. Ime Udoka is a really good head coach. They have a lot of talent. They play together well. But in a 7-game series, I'd feel okay about the Clippers' chances. Judah said, but probably a case of recency bias. Yeah, the Clippers have lost to him 3 times. Last time they didn't even have James Harden out there, though they actually played him pretty decently. Sergio said, my goodness, cancel my bet. The mush. The mush. Amin said, blood is underestimating the Mavs. Punk said, what's the haps? I got my tickets for Clippers in Dallas on Saturday. Ooh, I like it. Gonza Talk said, another 30-plus loss next Thursday. Get ready, Clipper Nation. That ain't next Thursday. It's in a couple days. It's this Thursday he's talking about. Our own mush, Bastian Schweinsteiger, once again guaranteed a victory. Talked down to the opponent, which the last 2 times he did that, the Clippers got blown out. He said Boston was garbage. They're overrated. Said the same kind of stuff about the Minnesota Timberwolves in the last matchup at Intuit Dome. Sergio said greatest movie, Bronx Tale. Ryan said Clippers win Mavs on Thursday. Okay. So he's with Bastian Schweinsteiger. Bastian actually, before I gave him a timeout, said, fine, I'll double down. We're beating the Mavs Thursday and Saturday. Book it. No! Now I feel like they're losing both. We have to put more at stake here because Bastian's just popping off. He's got wind in his jaws. There's no repercussions if he's wrong. He just comes back in here and goes, all right, 4 times the charm. This time I can't be wrong, guys. Like he's making a name for himself by playing the mush card right now. I don't know if I like that. If you're not familiar with the mush,
Eddie Mush was a degenerate gambler. He was also the biggest loser in the whole world. They called him Mush because everything he touched turned to mush.
Sebastian Schweinsteiger was a degenerate gambler.
Eddie Mush was a degenerate gambler. He was also the biggest loser in the whole world. They called him Mush because everything he touched turned to mush.
Never mind Eddie, my love. I need a winner.
He would go to the racetrack and the teller would give him his tickets already ripped up.
At the Yankees, they lost. Was for bad luck, I wouldn't have no luck at all.
Jojo the Whale, as they say, you didn't walk with Jojo, you walked among him. If you stared at Jojo long enough, you would see him get fatter by the hour. Legend has it, his shadow once killed a dog.
Okay, I wasn't here for Jojo the Whale. I was here for Eddie Mush, a.k.a. Bastian Schweinsteiger, who you guys tell me how we should handle this situation. We got a guy in here who is very destructive with his predictions. They always work against us. He's overly confident. Hey, kid, don't get cocky. He is arrogant. Like, this is some LeVar Ball type stuff, except he can't speak a damn thing into existence. LeVar got his sons drafted. Bastian got the Clippers, ran off the floor twice. Absent said, I think the Clips need a backup center more than they need a starting power forward. I don't trust Bamba in the playoffs. I'm not that worried about it. Guys, how many teams, I'm going to ask you this. How many teams have this great lockdown consistently solid backup center in the NBA. Tell me how many teams there are. Tell me who those guys are. I don't think you guys realize what a backup center's job is. Just be somewhat serviceable in 10 to 15 minutes a night. That's it. I think Mo Bamba's capable. Tom Rain said, I have a friend like that. As soon as he says the game is over halfway through or it is a blowout, I know I'm in trouble. You got an Eddie Mush?
Eddie Mush was a degenerate gambler.
Jordan Pollard said, who will be the likely leading scorer when Y returns? I don't know if Kawhi's going to hit the ground running to the point where he immediately takes over those scoring duties and is that guy. It may take some time. Boykin said Bastion is off the meds. Gonza Talks is laughing. Jonathan Ing is asking him, how are you coming to your conclusions? The same way Eddie Mush did.
He was also the biggest loser in the whole world.
Oh, God. Here's Quentin. A guy famous for saying, Avisa Zubats kept turning the ball over left and right. You look at the box score, Zoo had 0 turnovers. Clippers had like 8 total in the game he was talking about. Quentin said, hey, Adam, there's a rumor out that Clippers want to trade Chicago for LaVine and Vucevic. I may be misspelling his name, offering Powell. Man, I don't know what else. It's on the internet. Oh, my God, it's on the internet, guys. This is really well-sourced stuff here by Quentin. It is on the internet. Well, alert the media if it's not coming from a media member on the internet, which it's not. I haven't seen any rumor, scuttlebutt regarding that. We talked about that all offseason. What about trading for Zach LaVine? I think you're misplacing Nuggets with Clippers here. The Denver Nuggets earlier were rumored to be interested in Zach LaVine. You said, I'm feeling a Kawhi return. My gut telling me something. Well, it's not really your gut at this point. Coach Lou literally said yesterday he's progressing very well, and he's not ruled out yet when it comes to traveling with them on this 3-game road trip. So seems like there's some evidence, some smoke. Guneet said, do you think if Kawhi practices fully tomorrow? I don't know the practice schedule, but maybe. Boykin said, I miss seeing Kawhi scratch his braids and jaw on the court. What? Alfie said, have we seen a lineup of KPJ, Dunn, Coffee, Batum, and Bamba yet? I'm just curious to see what that will look like defensively. I want to say we have. If anybody wants to go through the lineup data. Alfie's still wondering about a traditional power forward. How you can win a championship without one. And then I screamed, Boston? They just won the championship without one? Jason Tatum, not a traditional power forward? Brunit said, will Kawhi speak if he practices tomorrow? If he speaks fully, that's possible. Amin said, can we please not lose by 30 just because someone said we will win? Like, do I really think there's such thing as a jinx or Eddie Mush? No, but Bastion Schweinsteiger is the closest you can get right now. X Mongo said, can you predict the other team winning for once? Let's see what happens. Bastion said, I've been in timeout 14 times the last 5 episodes, and I'm still showing up every time unfazed. Built different. Guy's relentless. He's got that dog in him. Or that stubbornness. Clippers Cave said, if we lose both, he gets banned. Ooh. Hey, Bastion, you hear that? You get banned if you lose both. You still going to say they're going to beat Dallas on Thursday and Saturday? I'm asking you. Are you still saying that? Because people want to ban you if they lose both. Timothy said, Adam, what do you think the Clippers should do if Kawhi is back healthy and playing like last year in terms of improving the team? Wait a little bit longer to see if he stays healthy? Like, I'm gonna remind y'all, he was fine for 4 months. Longer than that? And then 3 weeks before the end of the regular season, the knee swelled up. There was no indication that was going to happen. It was just everything was fine until it wasn't. So, even if he's back and healthy for a month, I'm not gonna go, "All right, here we go. Go all in. Trade the first round pick. The last one we had to trade. Do it. Let's go all in again." When I've seen the knee swell up already. It's 4 straight years of knee issues. Stratos said we need Arnold Schwarzenegger to beat up Bastian Schweinsteiger. Amin said that's a good idea to ex-Mongo, who wants Bastian to root for the other team so the Clippers will win. Bastian Mush Schweinsteiger is what you guys are going to call him.
Eddie Mush was a degenerate gambler.
Elijah Mickelson said, can Bastian just say we're dogs hit so we win every game? Underdogs? Oh, thank you, Stump. Appreciate it. Are we going to see 41 points from James Harden this Thursday? No. You're going to see 51. No, I'm kidding. I should play the audio. I don't know if you guys watched the last episode of Clips and Dip. You should. But I did a stupid bit where I said the Clippers were going to play, and I was in my car, and the little dome light was on, and I clicked it off, and I said the Clippers are going to play lights out against the Utah Jazz. One of the stupidest things I did, but it kind of came true. They played amazing. Judah said, it used to be us with that magic backup big, but we traded him away to make room for John Wall. Ha 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 ha. I don't really find that funny at all. I don't. I gotta be honest. How is that funny at this point? I got multiple Kawhi laughs here for that one. I'm not amused. I'm not. Boonit said, man, Tucker, Bones, and a couple seconds for John Collins, and he will start at the 4 and can be staggered as a backup 5. Please don't time me out. I should. I don't know. Did you guys watch John Collins last night? Okay, I'm not basing anything off one game. He's having a really good year. I would not mind John Collins for the right trade package. I just don't know how the Clippers couldn't be outbid by pretty much every other team out there. That's the thing. Everybody else has more assets. If they want them more than the Clippers, they're going to get them. Amin said, laughing my ass off, Adam is losing his mind. What do you mean? Himothy. Warriors got Looney. Rockets got Steve. Steven Adams is a shell of himself. Have you watched Steven Adams this season? Looney's decent. Edie's a rookie. I guess OKC has Hart as the backup with Chet back. He's not even back yet, and they'll probably play him at times together. Naz Reid, I love Naz Reid, but I don't know about true traditional backup center. And yeah, you've named like a couple in the entire league. Like, how you think every team is going to have one? Those guys are uniquely good coming off the bench. They're the exception to the rule. Goofy said, to be honest, most of the trade talk I've seen is mainly from fans. Oh, you too? But I haven't seen if there's any possibility or sources. Do you know any actual rumors for any Clippers trades? Well, let me tell you what Steve Ballmer told me the other day in a conversation between him and Lawrence Frank and myself, and Trent Redden and Mark Hughes was there. Come on, man. What is this? Jonathan Ing said, Steven Adams isn't the player he used to be before his injuries the last couple of years. Adams isn't even getting much burn these days. Is he even playing 10 minutes per night? Like, honestly, Steven Adams you're listing? That is some casual stuff. I love Steven Adams. He is not close to the same player. He's getting 10.7 minutes per night and was getting cooked by Zubats last game. Sergio said, I know you don't like to talk trade talk, but if somehow they could get Brandon Ingram, that will be great. You know why I don't like talking trade talk? Because I never hear any realistic trades. I never hear anything remotely realistic that actually ends up happening. If you guys actually brought up some realistic moves where it wasn't the other team always getting swindled and bamboozled by the Clippers, which is just fan talk, then I would like trade talk more. But you never do. It's always these crazy trades that the opposition's never going to do. The other team's trying to win the trade also. You're only thinking of it from the Clippers' perspective. I understand, but that's why I don't love the trade talk. Let me know all these trade machine trades that have gone through before in real life. Oh, God, Bastion's back. If we lose both, I'll get banned. Therefore, as long as we win one, I'm in the clear. Deal. Ooh, we got a deal.
Eddie Mush was a degenerate gambler. He was also the biggest loser in the whole world. They called him Mush because everything he touched turned to mush.
Everything Bastion Schweinsteiger touched turned to mush so far. Himothy said to Jonathan Ing, he is not the same player, Steven Adams, but in the two lineups he's featured at, he got a 73 defensive rating, a 91 defensive rating, and 5 player lineups. I mean, is that because of him or because the Houston Rockets are just really good? Like, I'm not trying to hate on Steven Adams, but he's just not even close to the same guy, and it sucks. Jonathan Ing said, Sandoval, I believe Brandon Ingram is on an expiring. Yes, he is. I'm not trading assets for this expiring if he wants to walk in free agency. If we aren't trading our 2030 pick, then we good. But I can't imagine New Orleans wanting our leftovers. Is that true? Schweinsteiger in German means pig climber? Amin said, not going to lie, I jinxed myself so hard when I said we would beat Portland back in October. And man, I was wrong. Well, at least you admitted it like a man. Unlike Bastion Schweinsteiger, who, man, when he was wrong after the Boston game, he was like, oh, I didn't know the Clippers are going to miss all these. He tried to make all these excuses. It was so weak. Goofy said, I wonder if Kawhi will be under similar load management like Embiid if he does well, but there's fear of the unpredictability of his knee near the end of the regular season. I mean, he's not going to play back-to-backs. Does anybody here think Kawhi Leonard is going to play back-to-backs after he's had 4 straight years of not being able to finish a season? That would be nuts. Hemsey did point out Mavs got lively. Okay, that's fair. Punk's Gone Wrong said, it's lame DJ not playing against the Mavs, his old team. It's lame he got hurt playing hard for the Clippers. I don't understand. He wants to play. Like, the guy's out. Hamstring injury. Bastion Schweinsteiger said, Bamba is awful. We're going to get destroyed in his minutes Thursday. We should get Paul Reed. Where's this Bamba is awful stuff? He's had some good games. Somebody's responded to Himothy looking for those good backup centers and saying, we got Zoo and Bamba. Himothy said, Bamba is not good enough as a backup center. We saw how Clippers were losing big during Plumlee minutes. I think Mo Bamba has been decent to solid so far. Like, he's within that range of being good enough. Elijah said, how do the Clippers keep getting lucky with teams who match up well against them, letting their players walk? Mavs, Pels, Grizz. Who are you talking about? Amin said, I don't want BI because he's injury prone, and we already have an injury prone player. We don't need another. I would like Brandon Ingram if he would take more threes. That's his flaw. Like, he has mid-range game. He can score at all three levels, but he doesn't enough from three, and he doesn't make players around him much better. He's still young enough, I think, at 27 to improve, but yeah, he's a flawed player. Otherwise, see, the thing is, with guys who teams are trading, who are on the trading block, there's usually a reason for that. MKXLNT said, alas, poor Bastion. Ray said, crap balls, I'm late. Kawhi is loading. Claw on the wall. If you want a chance to win, you got to wish Carlo Jimenez a happy birthday on his latest TikTok. Not TikTok, Instagram, but it started as a TikTok, I think, and then he also put it on Instagram. But we're going with Instagram. Needs more love on that page. He's got plenty on the TikTok side. So put it in the comment section on his latest video there with him taking that jumper. Who was the guy recording that, I wonder? That's a hell of a shot. Great cinematographer. Jonathan Ing said, Bamba has been better than advertised. He hasn't necessarily been terrible, but solid. That's all I'm saying. Like, how can you feel like that? Quentin, who said earlier the internet is saying that the Clippers are going after Zach LaVine, according to the internet, is what he said. He was dead serious. I don't think he was joking there, Kawhi. Yeah, I actually have to scroll up and find this one more time because this is funny to me. I'm sorry. Quentin Cornett said, hey, Adam, there's a rumor out the Clippers want to trade to Chicago for Zach LaVine and Vucevic. Don't know if that's how you spell him, but whatever. I may be misspelling his name. Offering Powell, man, I don't know what else. It's on the internet. It's on the internet, guys. It's out there. Now, I don't even think Clippers Reddit would entertain that. I'm not saying there couldn't be a trade package for Zach LaVine, but the rumor that came out today involved the Denver Nuggets being interested in Zach LaVine, not the Clippers. If you have somebody that's credible, like, I don't know, Shams Charania or Chris Haynes, saying that the Clippers are interested in Zach LaVine, I'll listen to it and we can start talking about trade packages. But I haven't seen any of that stuff today. We haven't really been doing that since this past summer. So he wants a realistic trade for Zach LaVine. I'm not giving up Norman Powell for Zach LaVine right now. Why? Why would you include Norman Powell in that trade? I'm not convinced when you weigh contracts that Zach LaVine is a better player giving you more bang for your buck than Norman Powell is. Norman Powell is averaging 24 points per game. He is shooting 50% from the field and 48%, almost 49% from three. What's Zach LaVine getting right now? And while they're both not great defenders, Norm's miles better than Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine is averaging 22 points per game, shooting 50% from the field, 42% from three. So all the numbers are worse. His defense is worse. His injury history is worse. Why exactly do you want to trade Norman Powell, who's having a career year as soon as he got an opportunity to have one, for Zach LaVine? Oh, and more stuff, by the way, you'd have to give up. Quentin, what sense does that make? Quentin, I'm sorry if you think this is condescending, but you literally said from the internet. I thought it was funny. You heard a trade from the internet. I'm trying to be realistic here. I'm trying to point out real solutions to how the Clippers can improve their team. Oh, no. Bastian Schweinsteiger says, here's a realistic trade for you. Oh, God. Here we go. Jonathan Ing, first of all, responded to the rumor in Quentin saying, if you were talking about that rumor from the offseason, That was when the Bulls had a bad relationship with LaVine and rumored to be offering a first-round pick to attach to LaVine in a trade package, which we talked about all offseason, Quentin. I love you, my guy, but there's no credible report today outside of the internet or even on the internet that says the Clippers are going after Zach LaVine. But if they do, Quentin, you will get all the credit first. That is a promise. I'll follow through, unlike Bastian Schweinsteiger here. Jonathan Ing said, Quentin, things have changed for Chicago since the offseason, and reports say they have repaired their relationship, or at least are progressing with repairing it with Zach LaVine. Why would you give up Norman Powell? What sense does that make? Bastian Schweinsteiger poses this trade. Apparently, the Chicago Bulls just have all these empty roster spots so they can take in all these guys and not have to cut anyone. He said, PJ Tucker, Bones Highland, Kobe Brown for Lonzo Ball and a second-round pick. I would take Lonzo Ball. I'm a Lonzo Ball fan. I'm sympathetic to him being so injured the last couple of years. I really like the way he transformed his game. His three-point shot got better. I think he could be a high-level role player if he's healthy on a championship team. I think he's that good. A great connector type. A high-level role player. Somebody that can make guys around him better, but he can't stay healthy. How many games has Lonzo Ball played this season? Lonzo says... Simon says, Lonzo has played 10 games, guys. He's played 10 games where he's averaged 17 minutes per game. He's getting 5 points and 4 assists. Are you really trading for a guy that is this injury prone? I don't know about that one. Goofy said, wait, is Kevin Porter Jr. able to be traded? LOL, Bamba has been better for us than him. Level Up is throwing tomatoes. I don't know if those are at me. Amin said, Quentin and Bastian are really hurting my brain with their dumb yapping. Look, everybody's got an opinion in here. And I hear that on the internet today, there's a trade going around for Zach LaVine. I appreciate Quentin and Bastian for different reasons. You're all contributing to the show. Timothy said, Lonzo would probably calm down the floor when KPJ is dribbling the ball on his foot. Jonathan Ing said Lonzo is cooked. Being forced to wear those big baller brand shoes early in his career messed his lower body up forever. I mean, that's what everybody says because it'd be, I don't know, some cruel irony, I guess. It's like LaMelo's wearing them. Quentin Cornett said, who's a better player, Zach LaVine or Norman Powell? I just gave you the numbers. Who's having the better season? Who's younger and 6'6" with more upside? Okay. Zach LaVine does have a lot of upside. He also has done his ACL, has had some serious injury concerns the past couple of seasons, hasn't looked quite like the same player he was 3 years ago. I don't know. There's a real good chance Zach LaVine has peaked, not in terms of team ball. Like maybe he goes to a team and he helps elevate them. And I'm a big Zach LaVine fan. Quentin apparently didn't watch any of the shows this summer. We talked a ton about Zach LaVine, so it's a little bit of an exhausted subject for me. I understand where you're coming from to some degree, but Norman Powell is definitively having a better season, is definitively less injury prone than Zach LaVine. Like, I think he's probably moving better than Zach LaVine is. And I like Zach LaVine. Like, that doesn't even take into account the contract situation between the two. Quentin, Zach LaVine makes more than twice the money that Norman Powell does. And Norman Powell's production has been better. So why would you want to trade him and give up more for Zach LaVine? Norm not proven enough to you guys? Jonathan said Norm right now because he makes over 50% of what LaVine makes. Or less than 50% of what LaVine makes, contract-wise. I thought you were going numbers there for a second. But his field goal percentage and three-point percentage are both higher. His points per game are higher than Zach LaVine's. He is a more efficient player. And then now Level Up is saying, I agree with what you're saying, Adam, but I say make the trade, Powell for LaVine. You agree with what I'm saying, but never mind that part. Just make the trade. If you agreed with what I'm saying, then you're just contradicting yourself the very next sentence saying, but make the trade. They can't just make a trade straight up for those two. Do you guys understand? Zach LaVine, he's making over $40 million. And he's making that much through the summer of 2026 if he opts in. So therefore, you're missing out on big names you could be going after, like SGA and Luka Doncic in the summer of 2026, because you made a move for Zach LaVine. And you weren't even sure if Kawhi Leonard was going to be healthy or not. And you didn't win a championship anyways, and you're not going to if Kawhi doesn't get healthy. So why are we talking about making moves when we don't know if Kawhi can stay healthy, and he's going to have to be the main guy for them to get over the top and win the ultimate championship, right? Get to their ultimate goal. It doesn't make sense. Why on earth would you make a move right now? How many times do I have to say this? Guys, you're killing me. This is why I can't stand the trade stuff. Like, I don't know how to put it any better than I have. If Kawhi can't stay healthy, it doesn't matter if you get Zach LaVine or Jimmy Butler. You're still not winning a chip unless Kawhi can stay healthy. So let's see if he can stay healthy before we're talking about making moves. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I'm really trying here. Daniel says, bring in Lonzo. Sign LiAngelo to lure LaMelo and complete LeVar's vision. Now, he's kidding, I think. MKXLNT says, Clipper Talk Chat 24-25 roster. John Collins, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Jeremy Grant times 2. Now, this is a man who is trolling me hard. Hard. That gets all 3 Kawhi laughs. Goofy said, has anyone seen Trenton Flowers in the G League? He's been good. Hopefully he's has a bright future. Better than Bronny, I bet. I agree with that. I feel like the trade talk breaks me by the end of every show lately. Yeah, he does have a cadaver meniscus. Lonzo Ball. Guys, Lonzo, God, I hope he can come back, but I don't think this is happening. Let's see. The Clippers have a bunch of guys who are already injury prone and have dealt with that over the last 3 years. Hey, let's get Lonzo Ball. That's a sick joke, right? He's played 10 games so far this season. I hope to God he can stay healthy. I don't see it happening. Amin said, LOL, Adam looks like he's about to blow up. Bottle up and explode over and over. R.I.P. Elliott Smith. Yeah, I broke it. I mean, I can't. We're talking about Zach LaVine again, and there's a rumor on the internet. From who? Quentin, just tell me where the rumor came from. I'll take anything right now. Just give me like an anonymous guy's name. Seymour Butts on Reddit said the Clippers are going after Zach LaVine. Come on, man. Where's this coming from? We talked about it all summer long. Daniel said, I will say, though, people have been saying Norm stock is the highest it's ever been, so we can get something good. I wouldn't, though. I just don't see Zach LaVine as much of an upgrade. And with this contract taking you all the way possibly through the summer of 2026, that is problematic. When the Clippers are trying to have a bunch of money, they might have 2 max slots open. You guys want Zach LaVine at 32 with bad knees taking up a max slot at that point? Sounds like a Seinfeld episode. I don't know. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. I wish they would. Quentin's back. Quentin says, throw in PJ Tucker, Bones Highland, and SGA won't come back to us, and Luka definitely won't come here. Throw in PJ Tucker and Bones Highland for what? Zach LaVine with Norman Powell? Again, Quentin, what is the logic? In what world is Zach LaVine having a better season than Norman Powell? Miss Shakes was after me the other day saying I was being a little bit like Ebenezer Scrooge because some of the trade stuff I get on here and my reaction, which most of it is just entertainment purposes. I'm just having fun with it and playing it up a little bit maybe. But Miss Shake said, oh my God, Adam, I have given you a hard time the other day, but today I understand your frustration. How are we acting like Norm isn't good? Why would we trade him now? He's the missing piece. Thank you. I'm not hearing a case for why Zach LaVine and his bloated contract is better than having Norman Powell. Quentin is yet to make that case. I'm open to it. I'm listening. But I've yet to hear it. All Norman Powell's numbers are better. He's less injury prone. He makes less than half as much as Zach LaVine. Where's the logic here? Amin said the Clippers are open to trading for Zach LaVine at the internet. That's good. The internet is, in fact, the source. Goofy said, can't be broken from trade talks. Got to put yourself together to cover the Mavs game soon. Humpty Dumpty will be put back together here. If you guys want this, and I know you do, the Kawhi Leonard bobblehead, it can be yours. But first, you got to wish Carlo Jimenez that happy birthday in the comments section under his latest Instagram video where he's taking a jump shot and the camera quickly turns away. I wonder if it went in or not. Ray said, did you guys discuss the LaVine to Nuggets rumors? It's on Hoops Hype in New York Times. I did. That's what I assume Quentin is getting confused about. He's misplacing the Nuggets part, that they're the ones interested in Zach LaVine, and that was the story that came out today, not the Clippers. Level Up said yes without giving him a max contract. Who's yes? Who's the max contract? Ray said, Norm stays. Jerry West loved the guy and was key in getting him traded here. Great point. R.I.P. Jerry West, my dad's favorite player. The NBA logo. Executive with the Clippers. Oh, we miss him. It still doesn't seem real. MKXLNT seconded that. Amin said, don't mind me, Adam, just some casual trolling. Okay, Level Up. What are you talking about? LaVine already has a contract that's at a max level. He is signed through, with his player option, the summer of 2026. when the Clippers could be going big game hunting, when there's a lot of guys that are out there. And instead you want LaVine taking up that max slot? Can anyone tell me why it's wise right now to make a move to try to bolster the roster and solidify a championship roster when we don't know if Kawhi Leonard can stay healthy, and he ultimately is going to be the guy that decides whether or not they can win a championship? Shouldn't we wait? Shouldn't we wait to see if Kawhi can stay healthy before we make a big move? Even if you do want Zach LaVine, and I don't see the logic in that either. To give up Norm with the season he's having? With the contract he has compared to Zach LaVine's? Even with all that, shouldn't we wait? Wouldn't it be prudent? Wouldn't it be wise to see if Kawhi can stay healthy? Since they're not going to win unless he can stay healthy? You want to give up more assets. More. Really? Frank White said, who are the Clips trying to get rid of Norm for? No one. Quentin said, the internet said that the Clippers were interested in Zach LaVine today, but the internet hasn't even said that. I don't know if there's any dark corner on the internet anywhere today that said today was the day that the Clippers are going after Zach LaVine. Level Up said, so what? If we were to pursue him, we should get for cheaper if possible. Quentin said, Zach LaVine is a better player than Norman Powell. I don't care. He's having a better season. He's younger, bigger, stronger, and taller, and has been an all-star. There is your argument. Is he an all-star this season? Bigger and stronger. Is he healthier? No, he hasn't been. Has he had a longer injury history? Yes. Is his contract more than twice as large as Norman Powell's? Yes. You can't get around my Spock-like impenetrable logic. You just can't, Quentin. It's not about what Zach LaVine did 3 years ago. It's about the player he is today. That's what matters. And that player is not better, even if you push the contract aside, than Norman Powell today. Any questions? Amin said, my Christmas wish is, can we please have Kawhi healthy for a regular and full postseason? I can sign off on that. Level Up said, he doesn't decide anything, Kawhi. He's a major player in our team, possibly the best, but still a championship is our goal. And to do that, to win the championship, you need your best player. You need him to be healthy. They aren't doing anything if Kawhi's not healthy. It doesn't matter if they got Zach LaVine or Jimmy Butler. If Kawhi can't stay healthy and you just gave up assets for those guys and you're not going to be able to win the championship now because Kawhi can't stay healthy still, what did you just do? You hurt your future even more. I'm really trying here, guys. I'm trying to explain how the front office views things like this. It's not that hard. Goofy said, random, but have the Clippers had more losses or wins in the red jerseys? I feel like they did have more losses with red prior to this Jazz game, probably because they had them on against the Rockets. Somebody else, if you guys got the answer for that. Ray said, another point in favor of Norm. He's the only NBA player to bang the drum in the wall. Yeah, this is a good point. Norm is one of us. Daniel said, don't get mad. I'm just throwing things out for fun. But how about Norman a pick for Sexton and Collins? Just why would they do that? Why would the Utah Jazz do that? Just tell me why. What if we let's say we don't just throw things out for fun. Let's say we actually have some real conversations about real solutions for this Clippers team that could actually happen in this Earth 1 scenario. What if we do that? Miss Shake said, I read an article that stated that Windhorst informed Powell that NBA owners were pissed when Norm was traded to the Clips. They called it a super team then, and he's part of the reason for the cap. On the internet, of course. That was good. That was good, Miss Shakes. Daniel said Norman Mann for Cam Johnson and DFS. I don't know why Brooklyn would do that. They could probably get more. Like Norm has another about 20 million on his deal. Terrence Mann, he's not 25, he's 28. Like they can get more. I don't even know what we're doing tonight. Why'd this turn into this trade thing? Quentin is back and says, and the fact that Denver is interested in Zach LaVine should tell you a whole lot. They aren't concerned about his injury history. They know his worth. Oh, they are concerned. Well, you think he's not going to get a physical beforehand? You think they're not going to do their due diligence there? Just because they're interested doesn't mean it's happening, Quentin. Doesn't mean anything. That means Zach LaVine is fine. Because a team is interested in Zach LaVine, that means forget everything you've seen in the last few years with his injury history. He's fine now. Case closed. Come on. Like, let's be serious here. Like, Denver, they're trying to find a Norm right now. That's how they would use Zach LaVine. Maybe because they know they're not getting Norm from the Clippers. Like, so if there was a trade rumor out that they wanted Norm, would all of a sudden you'd be like, oh, we got to hold on to him. Oh, he's too valuable. Oh, they want him. Oh, we got to keep him now. Jonathan Ing said, level up 15-15 deserves a timeout. Totally does not understand how salary matching in trades work. All right. Amin said, it's so funny seeing Adam going back and forth with Quentin and cooking that fraud. Quentin's not a fraud. He just, looks at things differently, and that's okay. Stratos said, haha, Spock. Jonathan said, Denver has a ton of issues, one of which Jamal Murray has not been performing up to expectations this year. But they want Zach LaVine, so that means he's cool. Oscar said, I wish people demanding this trade knew math. Thank you. Bastion Schweinsteiger said, James Harden for Zion Williamson. Daniel said, man and picks for Collins. Why am I even reading these things? Why am I doing that? My brain is turning to Eddie Mush. Level up 15-15 said, I'm not saying trade Powell for a max contract LaVine. I'm saying if possible, get LaVine for Powell, tick for tat with a decent contract that benefits LaVine and the Clippers. Level up. He's already under contract. They're getting him with the contract he's already on. What? It's somebody. He did like my. Oh no, that was somebody else. Jen 7500 did like the Earth Once an Error comment. When they trade for someone, they don't rip up the contract they had and then start a new one with a new team. They're still under that contract. Do you understand? Zach LaVine is making huge money. He's making $43 million this year, $45 million next year, whether he's a Chicago Bull or a member of the Clippers. And then he has a player option for $48 million in the summer of 2026, no matter what team he's on. You don't got to be Bobby Marks to know a little bit about the salary cap here and the CBA. Goofy said, personally, I don't want to wear any red jersey as a fan if it has a greater loss ratio. Kind of bad luck feeling. They just brought back the red jerseys for the first time in 7 years. Frank White said, I would like to see us get Marvin Bagley from the Wizards for PJ and Christie. Sean said, level up, bro. We are not going to trade Norm. He's doing so well. Why would we trade Norm? Miss Shakes, do you understand now? He understands now. I don't know what that's from, but Carlo's been saying that because people were suggesting that as one of his catchphrases. He understands it now? Is that from that expert shooter on social media? Ray said, Quentin is getting cooked, just like his namesake in A Dance with Dragons. Alfie said, all we ask for Christmas are two things, Kawhi to be healthy and PJ Tucker off the team. Level up 1515 said, I mean, it's a little too risky, but I like the idea if the numbers make sense. Rock said, what I miss? MKXLNT said nothing. Level up after that big rant I said about the contracts and how you don't just get Zach LaVine and then write up a new contract. He's on the same contract. He said, okay. So we're all learning something tonight. That's okay. I'm sure I'll learn something too. I hope. Chen said, next year, we have 11.5 off the books alone with PJ Tucker gone. He is our 5th highest salary. Only bested by Zoo, Norm, Harden, and Kawhi. That is making my stomach hurt. Chen also said, no trades. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. And Ray said, nope, with a big thumbs down to something. And donated $1.49. Appreciate you, Ray, as always. Amin said, I wouldn't trade for Zach at all because of his big contract and his health concerns as well. I have no idea what people have been watching with Zach LaVine over the last couple of years if you aren't concerned about his health. And, so the Bulls were certainly concerned this past offseason when there was a rumor they were trying to trade Zach LaVine and they would offer a first-round pick just to get him off the books. That's how concerned they were. And you don't think we should be concerned with trading for Zach LaVine? Miss Shake said, someone please pull up the numbers. LaVine versus Norm this year. Put this to bed. I already did. I thought I did. Norm Powell versus Zach LaVine. This season, what they did in the past is irrelevant. I don't think Zach LaVine is the same guy that was averaging 27 a game back in 2021. He's had injuries since then. He's older. Norm Powell this year currently is getting 24 per game while shooting 50% from the field and 48% from three. Zach LaVine is getting 22 per game while shooting 50% from the field and shooting 43% from three. Norm is shooting 48% from three. He's scoring 2 more points per game. There is no rationale that says you should trade Norm Powell for Zach LaVine, even if their contracts were equal. And they're not. LaVine makes more than twice as much money. But don't tell Quentin. Rock said, why would we trade for LaVine? It's tough enough with Harden and Norm against good defensive teams. I guess defense isn't something Quentin and Team LaVine often think about. They don't care about the whole defensive side of the ball. Not that Norm is great, but he's been serviceable this year. You can't argue with that. He is a much better defender than Zach LaVine. Level Up 1515 said, so why are people discussing that as a trade? Because you can aggregate trades. You could put Zach LaVine on one side and then have Norman Powell in his contract and then Terrence Mann's contract and make it add up to equal and get within range of Zach LaVine's contract. It can be done. Bastian Schweinsteiger said, PJ Tucker, man, bones for Kuzma. Boom. They aren't doing that. Miss Shakes understands the struggle now. She totally understands. The other day, she thought I was a Scrooge for putting on a show like this and rejecting trade after trade. And by trade, I mean bad, horrific, would never happen, not in the realm of possibility type of trades that I get on here. What happened there? Did you guys hear that? Now she understands the struggle that I'm in every day, listening to these awful trades, like Amin, who says, you destroyed my brain cells with that recommendation. Do I have any left? I don't know if it's the aspartame or the ridiculous trades I'm getting. See, look at this. Most people in here are totally sensible. Like 99% of you, totally reasonable. Love y'all regardless. Love 100% of you. 99% of you are very reasonable in your assessment of this Clippers team and the NBA in general. Drive-by Buddy is like, please, no more trade talk. Bonesaw said, how you doing, Bastion? Not too bad, I hope. Should we revisit the Laker fan who tried to troll me once? I don't know if I have that audio nearby, handy. But it might be funny to play to bring some levity to the discussion, like Eddie Mush would.
Eddie Mush was a degenerate gambler. He was also the biggest loser in the whole world. They called him Mush because everything he touched turned to mush.
Never mind Eddie, my love. I need a winner.
He would go to the racetrack and
Bastian Schweinsteiger was a degenerate gambler. He was also the biggest loser. I'm not saying that, Bastian. I love you. Let me see if I can find my old video. Let me see if I can find it. I need a palate cleanser badly right now. So bad. So hot right now. I need to hear from the trolling. Gosh damn it.
It's not.
You know what I don't need? Me not to be signed into my YouTube account, which I do pay for the premium, so I don't have to see any ads. Here is the fan, the Laker fan, that tried to troll Clippers talk after the Clippers had lost to the Boston Celtics. Things went horribly wrong for him, just like they have for the Lakers so far this season. About being more precise. Let's see if we got it here. Over your minutes in the Clippers. Oh, he tried so hard. Wait, leave this of a back-to-back. So what? 10 of their 19 games have either been on the front end or the back end of a back-to-back. That's brutal. Agree with that part. ST said, got to build another winning streak now. This was the battle of the winning streaks. Both teams had won 5 straight. This is after the Clippers got blown out by Boston. They had to play the, like, okay, cool. At the end of the Clippers stock with Adam Muslim. What's up? Okay, I need one. Here we go. Tyler and Pomona. Tyler, you're on Clippers stock with Adam Muslim. What's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
I mean, I knew that's the impetus of not too bad, I hope, that Bonesaw is referencing, because he's like that. Is Brian Seaman not too bad, I hope? Some inside jokes here on Clippers Talk that if you know, you know, because this Laker fan is completely full of it and is trying to set me up by acting like he cares about my disposition, about my mental state after the Clippers got blown out by Boston, when in fact, he's looking to troll. Tyler and Pomona. Tyler, you're on Clippers Talk with Adam Muslim. What's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you tonight? Not too bad, I hope.
I mean, I knew this could happen. I was prepared for this.
Yeah, well, what do you expect? It's the Clippers. They will always clip. It's a Laker town, baby. Go Lakers!
Oh, he tried so hard. Wait, leave him. I don't want to take him down yet. Oh, Tyler, you coward. I was going to go back to you. Oh, that's just like a Laker fan to just back out of the room slowly there and run away. Weak. Look, if you're trolling on a night like this where the Celtics beat the Clippers, I think you're confused out there. See, the Boston Celtics, Tyler just proved something right there. This fool just proved something. I had to hold back there. I was on the air. I had to say fool. Clippers are living rent-free in Lakers' heads more than their biggest rival, the Boston Celtics, are. This is what's happening here. They are more worried about the Clippers than the Boston Celtics. Because if anything, a true Laker fan should be upset that the Boston Celtics won tonight. But instead, what are they focused on? Tyler, what? You can go back to that episode if you want. Our Japanese friend, Kiri, I think was the name, said hello. Another trade talk. Why people like a trade talk? I don't know. They like to dream a little bit. I do too. I understand why we come up with these things. It can be fun. I just keep getting the exact same trades thrown my way for months now. And I'm not hearing any that are actually going to go through. Frank White asked a good question. When is DJ coming back? Derek Jones Jr., based upon the 2-week timeline, I don't think he'd be eligible for the reevaluation till right around Christmas. So after the next 3 games. So I think the soonest he could come back, to try to answer your question, Frank, and it's just a guesstimate here, just based upon the timeline they gave and saying there's going to be a reevaluation in 2 weeks on the hamstring injury. The soonest, the 27th against the Golden State Warriors. Best case scenario. Cap said, just finished work, got home. Best way to finish off the night with Clippers talk. His knees and back is cooked. Zach LaVine. Oh, I'm hurt. My back, my knees and my back. I hope he's not cooked. Ray said, at Frank, I believe he gets reevaluated next week. Yeah. Amin said, we have destroyed Adam with the trade talks. Beaten the spirit out of me. ST said, Norm is too important for this season's narrative. Much like Quentin Martell in A Dance with Dragons. Miss Shake said, thank you. Thank you. David Hong said, Norm makes. Norm makes. That is a good point. Norm makes. LaVine misses. Now, LaVine's having an efficient year. It's just not as efficient as Norm. Ex-Mongo Project said, whatever happens, I believe in L. Frank. He is good in identifying gettable, undervalued players. Let him cook. Let L. Frank cook. Rock said, I did like that Ty adjusted the rotation and stopped the 4 guards altogether off the bench. Even with a bad shooting night from Porter Jr. and Miller, they were capable of holding their own. Goofy said, why would anyone want Zion, LOL? Someone mentioned James for him, but I thought the point was that no one wants him due to his health and injuries, which James hasn't had. Zion also has quite a large contract. David Hong said, Norm makes $25 million a year. Isn't that a complete bargain? What if I told you he doesn't even make that much, David? What if I told you that Norman Powell is making less than $20 million per year right now? How would you feel then about the bargain? He's at $19,241,379 right now. Next year, okay, he's slightly over $20 million. Deserves it. Miss Shake says, I am highly entertained. Well, we aim to please. Quentin is putting up his resume again, how long he's been a Clippers fan. I've been a Clippers fan since 84, 85. What about you, buddy? I'm 52. I'm a real one. Back to the LA sports arena. We don't want infighting between Clippers fans, guys. Like, I respect Quentin. I've read and addressed all of his comments, I think fairly. I have, picked them apart, but I haven't ignored them. I've tried to given him a fair platform to, present his views here. Level up. See, we're all getting smarter. He said, level up 15-15. Said, I get it. Too much for LaVine. Reason shall overcome. ST said, I mean, they never showed his death. Okay, we're talking about movies still. Rock said, I guess after a blowout, it's not much else to talk about besides trades. I had some Coach Lou sound I was going to get to, but the show's been derailed. Frank White said, Bones Highland has been playing good ball the last 3 games. Should Ty Lue give him consistent minutes? I would say it's still been up and down. with Bones Highland in his play. I wouldn't exactly say good ball. I think he's had good moments, good stretches. Good ball, that's a bit too far for me. How do you guys feel about that assessment of Bones Highland the last 3 games? I'm interested. You know, I'm the holder of the Skeleton Key Army, and I love Bones Highland. And I want him to get those opportunities. But he's got to be better with the basketball, make better decisions out there, and just hit a little bit more consistently from the outside. Cap said, Zach LaVine is making double the amount of Norm contract-wise. Norm is better on both ends. Harden plays well off Harden. See the way he comes off curl cuts. Harden plays well off Harden. Powell plays well off Harden? I think is what you mean. Harden finds him. Off Harden passes. Gotcha. Norm plays off Harden. I'm with you, Cap. Clipper Nation, Clipper Talk, assemble. Bastian Schweinsteiger said, doing fine, young man. Isn't it past your bedtime at Bonesaw? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ray said, you need the Laker troll on the soundboard. Yeah, I can put it up there. I can make that happen. I'll have that ready next time. Any Kobe Brown update? I do not have one for you. Cap said, Zach plays off no one. Oscar said, when people bring up dumb trades, let AI Adam answer their questions. This is how I feel when I get all these trade questions thrown my way.
I'm so lonely. Please help me.
I just feel like...
Please help me. Please help me. Please help me.
Quentin throws a question in.
Please help me.
Right away. Rock said, Rock's Tale, yeah, we're playing that earlier. Amin said, ouch, Adam. Cooking the Lakers and their fans. Oh, the audio there, yeah. Rock said, feels odd not having a matchup with the Lakers yet this deep into the season. Really does, right? I don't like that. They're going to have 4 games in like a month and a half. Cap Ross said, Harden to Norm off these curl cuts with Harden getting to the basket is beautiful. The defense says,
please help me.
Zach won't do that. Yeah, I don't know if Zach elevates anyone, to be honest. He's kind of an individual scorer. He's similar to Brandon Ingram in that way. Christian said, remember when Bastian said the Celtics would lose? I do remember that. I remember when he said the Minnesota Timberwolves were going to lose too. I wish he was right, but he's the mush. Level Up 1515 said, when Powell is already having a phenomenal year, you might be spot on him. Big, if true. Amin said, man, Lakers fans are so insecure. Fakers, flankers, flakers. Jeez. Ray said, why people like a trade talk should be my bumper sticker. Is it our Japanese friend? Is it Kiri? I just love that we have someone in the chat from Japan. Makes me happy. The trades, not so much, but
please help me.
Goofy said, at least we have a better record this season against the Nuggets and the Lakers. LOL. Jokic makes them his minions. Capra said, Norm is one of the best contracts in the NBA. Honestly, $19 million for a 24-point scorer with his efficiency. I know. G-Master Funkflex said, this is our time. I told it first. Okay, maybe second. Still, this is our year. I hope you're right. Rock said, someone else is saying, what do you mean by our year? I mean, to G-Master. I hope he means championship. Rock said, mention on X, but if the Pelicans are trying to fire sale and unload contracts, they should try to dump CJ or DeJounte for Ben Simmons' big contract. We're talking about 2 other teams making a trade that has nothing to do with the Clippers, huh? Rock said, I still think there's a chance PJ Tucker expiring returns something. Oh, I definitely think there's a chance. I don't know if it's going to return something that's significant. Cap said Harden is having his best year since he destroyed his in Brooklyn, carrying those guys, his hamstring maybe. It's crazy at 35. Miss Shake says his last 3 games have been better than KPJ and Miller. Talking about Bones. That's a low bar. Those guys haven't played well either. Ex-Mongo Project said, regarding Bones, I don't like that he seems to tune out, even if it's just garbage time. Yeah. And I'll say this, KPJ was bad last game, but the 3 games before that, he was like at 15, 14, I think 17 points. He actually was playing pretty decent. Ex-Mongo said, regarding Bones, I just read that, Adam.
Please help me.
Peter said, this month's schedule is plain stupid. 6 days off and then back-to-back with the Mavs. But it's not back-to-back. It's Thursday and then Saturday. There's a day off in between. And they didn't have 6 days off. Clue said, don't trade Norm for no LaVine, please.
Please help me.
Please is right. G-Master said, Bones must do better at D if he wants to play more. He should work on that side of the ball. Gonza said, change the channel name to Trade Talk. No, I will not. I will not.
Please help me.
Amin said, I didn't really notice that with Bones. Which part? G-Master said, that's it. Finals, man. We're going to the finals. But are they going to win? Peter said Bones is garbage. I don't think that. Miss Shake said, LOL, okay, fair point. I don't understand the KPJ hate. He's decent. I don't think it's hate, but I think it's fair criticism to say that he over dribbles far too often, gets into his bag, tries to cook, gets tunnel vision out there, doesn't play within the offense. And sometimes the effort really wanes on the defensive end too. I think it's a proper assessment of KPJ so far. I'm hoping he gets better, but I have to say that if somehow he was out of the rotation all of a sudden, I would not be shocked by that because his play, they are so desperate for another ball handler that he has gotten this big opportunity, even though he hasn't played well. Overall, he hasn't. I don't know what you're getting possession to possession with KPJ. It might be because he had a year off. Might be because he's just an up and down player. Might be because he's a young player. We don't know. Quentin says, I've never lost a debate to a Lakers fan because I just asked them what team is easiest to be a fan of, gets them every time. That's not bad, Quentin. That's not bad. Amin said, I just don't like watching KPJ play basketball. It's not aesthetically pleasing or an aesthetically pleasing brand of basketball sometimes. Ray said, yeah, that is a good approach to tackling that fan base. Quentin is well-versed in how to diffuse an annoying Laker fan. Get him on his heels. Goofy said, I agree with Chuck from Clips and Dip. KPJ isn't fun to watch sometimes. Ex-Mongo Project said, how would you evaluate Jay Miller so far? He's been down the last 2 games. I still feel like the game against Houston, he was on one and they didn't get him the basketball. But last 2 games he's struggled. I'm concerned that teams are scouting for him and he's starting to look more like a young player in his second season, even though he's turning 25 next month. The book may be out on KPJ and those long strides to the basket because the last couple of games, teams have been doing a good job shutting that down. But it's not, not KPJ, Jordan Miller. But I'm sticking with Jordan Miller. I still think overall he can be a net positive for this team out there. Christian said, doesn't KPG and Ballmer have history? I don't know if I heard that here. I believe KPJ and Ballmer's son were on the same AAU team or high school team, something like that. Amin said, I hate KPJ's over dribbling and his ridiculous turnovers. He had some really bad ones to start the game the other night. He didn't hit his first shot. He till late in the fourth quarter. I think midway point of the fourth, he started 0 for 7. David Hong confirms that KPJ and Steve Ballmer's son are friends. Miss Shake said, I agree, because who else would be able to get us a much-needed 9 points per game? He definitely over-dribbles, and I saw him have a tantrum when one of the guys passed the ball to Norm instead of him. Jonathan Ing responds to Miss Shake, says, KPJ's biggest issue is is his low basketball IQ, as I got.
Please help me.
Low energy, low brain functioning right now, starting to get tired here. His biggest issue is his low basketball IQ. That is what holds him back. All that talent he has, poor shot selection, and the aforementioned tunnel vision over dribbling. Level Up 1515 says, I know I am learning about trades, but Siakam would be a great fit for our team. Again, without losing my favorite players, just think we would win more with him on the team. Anybody want to help level up? He's learning, and that's good. Siakam, my guy, just was traded to Indiana. They just gave him a big contract. He's not being traded to the Clippers. There are a lot of guys that would help them win more. It doesn't mean you can get them. Like, he's helping the Pacers win more, so why would they give him up? Bonesaw said, we would also win more games if KD was on the team, or Luka, or Giannis. Yeah, that's kind of my point, but he said it in a little more aggressive way. Cap said, Dunn bringing the ball up, helping Harden get in-game rest was really good last game. I like that. Harden had so much more lift on his shot. I think it's also because Harden just had 8 days off. Dunn has been in the starting lineup for a bit now, doing that role next to James. I think what we saw on Monday night, last night, was more of the effect of Harden having fresh legs. Amin screams, why would the Pacers trade Siakam? Yeah. Guys, we got to help out. Level Up 1515. Jonathan Ing said, Jordan Miller hitting a wall right now. Just got to get through it. But it's 2 games. Like, it's been 2 games. The game before the last 2, he was really good against Houston. I'm not going to overreact. It's just 2 games. He is on scouting reports now, so got to work through it. We'll get there with the continued reps. Level Up 1515 is laughing, so that's good. Okay, I'm not laughing much longer here. My throat is starting to hurt. Been talking for almost 2 hours. Yeah, that's what I'm about to start sounding like. Goofy said, it seems everyone agrees KPJ can be frustrating, but I'm happy Chris Dunn is getting better with the 3-pointer. Saw his practice with James on Hoops Jab. It's just 1 game. What did he go 2 of 4 last night? It was against Utah, but I'm hoping he's starting to turn things around. Like, I don't think, he became a different shooter. It's just law of averages. He's not as bad as he has been shooting it. He wasn't as good as he was shooting it the first 10 games. So that's why you saw the regression. Ray said, agreed. At Jonathan, Miller should mix things up with his drives. Always Euro stepping is well known now. I don't know. I think we're putting too much into 2 games from Jordan Miller, where, he got the ball sporadically, try to make some things happen. I'm not concerned about it. Like, yeah, he's being scouted more, but like, when he went through Aaron Gordon, it's not like Aaron Gordon didn't have good defensive positioning against him. It's not like Aaron Gordon isn't a good defender, and he went through him. I think what's happening is more about just Jordan Miller missing some shots, guys. Then like, oh, here we go. It's the wall. It's all these things. Like, we're probably overanalyzing a little bit here. Amin said, overall, I'm happy with how Miller has been, especially that game against Sacramento. Bonesaw said, hey, Bastion, you still up, old timer? Rock said, KPJ conversation is completely over-dramatized. I don't know if it's over-dramatized. I don't know what you mean. Daniel said, do you know where I can watch the interview where Ty Lue said Dunn has been dealing with something since the start of the season? It was pregame. So I might be able to find it. actually, if you guys are really interested in that, because I kind of am. That was news. And if nobody else has played it, might be a good idea for us to do it here, right? Give you a Clippers Talk exclusive. Give you that pregame press conference with Coach Lou from yesterday before the Clippers blew out the Utah Jazz. Let me see if I can log into my email real quick. Pull it up. Appreciate you guys putting up with me as I throw the screen down real quick. Nothing weird happening here. Just log it into my email. I know I have to like throw up those preemptive strikes so you guys don't start saying anything wild here. All right, let's see if I can find the pregame audio from Coach Lou. Let's see if it was uploaded here. I think we got it. I think we're back in business.
So we'll see, going forward after tonight. Tomorrow, kind of get a chance to reassess everything.
Okay, here was the latest on Kawhi. Why don't we start with that? We'll get to the Chris Dunn stuff, then we'll end the show. You guys good with that? Adams family, we cool? Thumbs up? All right, thumbs up for me at least.
So that was kind of cool. Heck with golf.
No, right?
Just never follow him. Never bother you in 5 years.
What's your plan for Kawhi Leonard this week as far as practice and travel for later in the week?
Not sure about travel right now. That hasn't been determined yet. So we'll see, going forward after tonight. Tomorrow, kind of get a chance to reassess everything and kind of go after tomorrow and see what happens.
So when he says tomorrow there, that is today. So once again, they're not sure about him traveling, but they didn't rule it out there. One more time.
What's your plan for Kawhi Leonard this week as far as practice and travel for later in the week?
Not sure about travel right now. That hasn't been determined yet. So we'll see, going forward after tonight. Tomorrow, kind of get a chance to reassess everything and kind of go after tomorrow and see what happens.
How do you feel like he's progressed since the last time we were in?
Progressed very well. Yeah.
Ooh, how do you feel Kawhi has progressed?
What happens?
How do you feel like he's progressed since the last time we were in?
Progressed very well. Yeah, progressed very well.
You guys like that?
Obviously, Norm's having a career year, and you're a better team.
I don't need to hear this garbage
That
from
said,
Brian Seaman. Damn it. He had the last laugh there as I had it way too hot. I'm sorry, guys. I got Brian smacked. Oh. I almost said something instead of Brian smacked that you guys would have had a field day with. Definitely would have been a pause.
the short period of time when Norm was out, to replace the offense that it has been to replace.
Still
We
though,
want to be every single
I
night.
want the Chris Dunn.
26.
That's it.
But it's also it's basically he's still on pace to play the most minutes of his career, though.
Okay, here is Justin Russo asking him about Chris Dunn, where he'll reveal that Chris Dunn has been hurt.
Single night.
Ty, Chris is on pace for, I believe, his highest minutes total for his entire career. How do you kind of continue to lean on him and what he brings on both ends of the floor, but specifically defensively, without potentially wearing him out under that workload?
How many minutes did he play on?
I want to say he's played almost 600 minutes so far.
How many minutes a game?
I want to say like 25, 26.
That's it.
But it's also the most, it's basically he's still on pace to play the most minutes of his career, though.
Okay. Well, when he gets to 37, 38, then you come talk to him. 25 minutes, come on, man. But he has been doing some stuff all year long, since training camp, and just so some things we correct. 25 minutes.
Listen to this.
But he has been doing some stuff all year long, since training camp, and just so some things we corrected, and he's feeling better, but he's not 100%. He hasn't been 100% for a while, and so we just gotta keep slowly bringing him along. But we need him to play 20 to 30 minutes. We got to get to that point, because he's so valuable to our team and what he brings defensively.
There you have it. Coach Lou talking about Chris Dunn Been dealing with some things all season long. So, I mean, the dog in him is like Clifford the big red dog, because for him to go out there and give the effort he has and play the level of defense he's been playing and the hustle and the energy and the spirit Chris Dunn plays with, that dog is ginormous. Beethoven's fifth stuff here. All right, I'm Adam Osland. This has been another edition of Clippers Talk. Appreciate you guys. And again, if you want to get into the running for the Kawhi Leonard bobblehead, the first step is saying happy birthday to Carlo Jimenez on his Instagram in his latest video that looks like this, where he's showing off the dimensions of the court. Say happy birthday from the Adams family in there, and you will be in the running. For further instructions, check back with me tomorrow. We're 7 days a week here. I love y'all, including Big Q, Quentin. Quentin Cornett. Appreciate you, my guy. And you do have some seniority with your pool here since you've been a Clippers fan going way back. But we love everyone. Miss Shakes, good to see you. G-Master Funkflex, DM, Rock, Jonathan, X-Mongo, Cap, Rock again, Christian, Goofy, RB3067, Clue, Amin, Kiri, Jonathan Ing, Ray, Miss Shakes. Did I say that? Bonesaw, Ray, I definitely said that. Level up 1515. All right. Bonesaw, if I missed anyone, I apologize. I'll give myself a timeout to start the next episode. Love y'all.